Hello, Flourish ladies. I would like to welcome you back from our Flourish picnic hangout. Thank you for coming in big numbers. Thank you for being dressed for the occasion. Many of you said we understood the assignment, and I would like to say thank you. I want to remind you again that on the 8th of March, 2025, we have our Flourish Women's Conference, and the theme is whole. Jesus came so we can be whole, spirit, soul, and body. You want to begin to sign up, begin informing your friends to come and be a part of our conference. So today, the reason we are here is to answer your questions. Remember, at the picnic hangout, we ran out of time. It was so much fun. We ran out of time. We were not able to answer your questions. But we wanted to make sure that we answer these questions. And today, I am delighted to be joined by Mrs. Martha Chide. Good morning, Nyabo.
Good morning, Pastor.
It is morning right now. So we're going to begin answering some of your questions. And I'll go to the very first question that we shot to her. Someone at the hangout asked, how can you handle being in a long distance relationship? And Mrs. Chide, I think, has the perfect answers for us. Over to you, Nyam.
Thank you, Pastor Dora. It's really a privilege and an honor to be answering these questions. I ask for the grace of God, for the wisdom, such that these questions my answers really meet your expectations. So, about a long distance relationship, I'll say three things. One, how did this long distance relationship start? You know, there will always be time to date, time to understand each other before you commit into this kind of relationship. So it's really, really very important to understand how it started. And if it all started well known it's going to be a long distance relationship, then you have guidelines that are going to help this relationship grow. And in those guidelines is be very deliberate to have time to, I would call it a daily stand-up time. That time that you commit just to speak about this relationship, allow it to grow. If it's already in the final stages and you're in a committed relationship, already blessed by God, then find that time, talk about the relationships, try to understand each other. What is it that is good about the other person and every other thing. And the other thing is that you really have got to keep it really very open, yeah? The distance alone is already a barrier to the growth of the relationship.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you keep the communication flowing, be open to each other, use it as an opportunity of understanding each other and growing in this relationship. And then the third, which is most important, the third that is really very important is to set the next course of action. Mm-hmm. So is it that it's going to be a long distance relationship forever? Is it that it's just for some time and you'll eventually get back together? It's really very important. And while you're having those reviews, either online, on Zoom, phone call out all those things and be very clear on what the next steps will be. And most important is everything that is with God will surely work out. Keep it open. Have time for each other, either on phone or anything else, and also set the next steps of this relationship with God being your guide.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Chide. And I just want to throw in one more thing. If it's a marriage relationship, you want to make sure you have regular physical time together. You can't be long distance, month upon month. No, there's got to be a plan to come back to where the other is, whatever formula you use. Okay, second question. I think that was fabulous. So the second question is, how can you raise a young lady, a young girl in this generation, especially when it comes to guiding them about dating and relationships? I think someone has a young lady who is at that age when they start to date. She's wondering, how do you guide them?
Okay, thank you. That's an interesting one. Being a mother of quite a number of young ladies. First things first, I want to believe that they're in the right age of dating. Say 20 years?
Yeah, she said about 20 years in the question.
that's the right age where one starts thinking of dating in readiness of getting married. So it shouldn't raise a lot of fear for a 20-year-old to start, their journey for future marriage.
Yeah.
First of all is you need to pray for them. I want to believe that they are close, they are either a child, a sister, a friend. So put them in prayer to the Lord. Dedicate that stage of their life that they are into. And as you pray for them, and also try to draw them, if they haven't given their lives to Christ, if they don't know Jesus, try to draw them to Jesus, because dating or getting into a relationship with a background of knowing Jesus, it really guides you to make the rightful decisions. So it's really very important that you pray for them. Yeah. Then secondly, if it's a new relationship, try to be friends with them. But if this is your child, probably your friend, a sister, I want to believe that you've really known who they are, what drives them, what is it that can make them fall, what is it that inspires them. So in trying to understand them and being friends with them, they will readily open up with you. They will tell you every other step of that relationship. Because remember, I said it's the right time of going. But then, how do you go through it? So if you're friends with them, they will open up, they will share with you, they will tell you every other thing, which then supports you also to guide them. Yeah. So if you didn't do this, definitely the world will do it. Because they have friends, they have people they reach
social
out
media.
To. Yes, social media. So they will even go into either Google or ChatGPT and ask, how do I So it's really important that you make friends with them, be very open, and also it takes time to build that relationship. You don't say, now I want to be open with you. But take time to understand them, and then be able to, open up as they also open up to you. Then the other one is have one-on-one. Dedicate that time. Just, you're in this and you've been given that chance and opportunity to support this person go through this period. Remember, I said it's normal, it's okay for a 20-year-old plus.
To date.
So dedicate that time, one-on-one. It could be 30 minutes just to talk about that. Yeah. They will ably share their fears, what are their expectations, then you try to sort of build them towards.
Because they feel you are on their side.
Yes,
the minute it becomes too, you may be quizzing them too much, or you don't want them to be in it, then they'll close up.
Sure.
So what would you tell someone who has a girl, again, similar situation, but in this case, maybe they think they are not yet of age to start dating?
The girl thinks that she's not yet of age.
No. The parent or the guardian or the one influencing them. The girl wants to date or is already dating. Maybe she's 13, she's 14, 12. What would you speak into that kind of a situation? What counsel would you give?
So for one that is not really ready, I would still use the same steps for one that is ready. And in that time is just try to speak to them and tell them, there will always be a right time, for it. So it's try to build them, sort of distract them to the right direction. So if they are still in school, say focus on school. Dating and going into relationship comes with a lot of distraction. Then you'll end up trying to find more time for the dating, which is not really the right time. And then you'll be losing more time for other things that matter then.
That you need to be doing at that time.
Yes, so it's, and the moment you get to know that this is what is happening, the best way is to go and attack it. Talk about it, be very open, of course, reference to whatever has happened previously, what the expectation is as a Christian, and all that.
Wow. And then the third and final question that we directed to Mrs. Chide is, what would you advise someone? This is another question a lady asked. Would you advise someone to get married to a man who has, she said, 3 children? But I think in this case it's who has children. Would you advise them to go on and get married? So I'm imagining this is a lady who has someone interested in marrying her, but he has 3 children. What would you speak into that situation?
What I sense, okay, I may not have all the background detail to that, but what I sense is that this lady hasn't really gotten to know this gentleman that is pursuing her. So, and I may be wrong, but by the time you even start thinking of dating a man with children, you should
already know
that these are the children, whom are they staying with, what led to the breakup with the mother of the children, and then all those should be put together for you to make a decision. And in case these haven't been put together, I would advise that you take time to put this together. And if you really feel you're not being led by the Holy Spirit,
there's no peace.
There's no peace. You know, there's that connection. The chemistry will surely come through. So if you feel you've really known every single fact about this gentleman and the connection is not there, please don't force it. Yeah. But if you really know this gentleman, it could come off from a sympathy, what understanding, what transpired between them. Yeah. And then you feel, yes, I should be the right person to come into this situation life and try to rescue the three children, rescue those three children, and also give them an opportunity to live a decent life. Yeah. You could be sent into that relationship just to improve and make sure that you bridge those gaps. But most important is understand the background of this relationship. And then give it time, pray about it, seek guidance. But the most important thing is that understand the background, let it flow naturally. If you feel there is no connection even after putting the dots together, please don't pursue it. But again, once you go in for it while ready, knowing ABC, this is how it started, and try to give an opportunity for those children, to thrive. Have very clear, because you may not deny the children from, reaching out to their mother if they wish to. That's right. But have very clear guidelines on how you're going to handle that. And it should be open between the three parties, because these children at the end of the day will need their mother, will need that connection. But the most important thing, go in well knowing what you're going into. Are you ready to take up all the responsibilities? Are you really connected into it? Because it's a commitment. Yeah. I mean, it's not a normal thing that you go in and just try to solve here and there.
I don't even think it would be
dedication that you really have got to be ready for.
I feel like you shouldn't even go in. If you're saying that you should be really sure, feel the peace of God, be confident, this is what God is asking me to do. Because if you go in and then come out, now these children are experiencing another exit in their lives. So you're 100% right. Ladies, I hope you are receiving the wisdom. You asked these questions. We wanted to make sure we answer them. So thank you for listening in. We will return with another edition, with another set of questions, and we'll do our best to bring you the wisdom that you need from the Lord to make the right decisions. Otherwise, don't forget, 8th March 2025, Flourish Women's Conference at Life Church in Amasuka. We love you very much. God bless you.